What if the Black Plague never happened? In the mid-1300s, Europe got ghosted. And I don't mean someone didn't text back. I mean a literal ghost rolled in. The Black Death. A plague so savage it wiped out about a third of Europe's population, like it was deleting browser history. Cities turned into graveyards. Farms rotting. Society full-on meltdown. Think zombie apocalypse minus the zombies. And plus, a lot of pus. Painter Peter Bruegel even captured the vibe with his Triumph of Death, basically a Where's Waldo of skeletons ruining everyone's day. But here's the twist. What if the plague never showed up? No medieval horror show, no mass graves, no rats getting a bad PR rep for 700 years. Would Europe have thrived? Would we be healthier, happier, less obsessed with essential oils? Or would history have slammed on the brakes without that dark jolt of change? Let's roll back the clock and explore a world where the Black Death took a sick day. Spoiler, it's weirder than you think.
Let's play pretend. It's the 1340s, and Europe is thriving. If by thriving you mean overcrowded, overworked, and oversaturated with people who really need a bath. Every field, planted. Every village, crammed like a medieval group chat that nobody wants to be in. And since there's no Black Death to thin the herd, things only get worse. Now, picture cities that are twice as crowded, with half the plumbing. Yup, buckle up for wall-to-wall peasants, open sewers, and enough BO to stun a cow. No plague means no death, which sounds great until you realize it's replaced with good old-fashioned hunger, filth, and social gridlock. We skipped the Grim Reaper and got dumpster fire economics instead. In our timeline, the plague accidentally gave peasants a power-up. So many workers died that the survivors could finally say, hey, maybe don't pay me in turnips this time. Feudalism, it started to wobble. Lords were like, wait, you have demands now? But in plague-free Europe, the fields stay full. And so do the shackles. Peasants stay stuck, kneeling to the same crusty nobles until death, which ironically takes forever now. No bargaining, no revolts, just generations of back pain and mud sandwiches. And it's not just economics. The plague made people rethink everything. The church lost street cred when prayers didn't stop the dying. Doctors were exposed for basically being medieval WebMD. And from that chaos, boom, curiosity, humanism, the Renaissance. No plague, no panic. No panic, no spark. Suddenly, we're in a world where Da Vinci's just some guy doodling in a notebook no one cares about. Michelangelo, still carving, but only for a duke's weird garden. And the stars? Still mysterious, terrifying balls of fire that definitely orbit us. The plague also did wonders for science, in the most horrifying way possible. When people realized the old medical textbooks were useless, they started doing something radical, actually observing stuff. Dissections, data, testing. But without that plague-driven, wow, this is not working moment, we stay stuck with bad diagnoses and even worse treatments. Oh, you're dying? Let's balance your humors with this jar of leeches and some moldy bread. Modern medicine gets ghosted for centuries. After the plague, survivors inherited land, wealth, and the world's biggest to-do list. They had fewer hands, so they got creative. Machines were born. Progress was forced. But in plague-free Europe, there are workers everywhere, cheap ones. No incentive to invent a machine when Jeff the peasant is still available for half a loaf of rye and a slap. Innovation? Delayed. The Industrial Revolution might show up to the party centuries late. Meanwhile, places like China and the Islamic world already sending brainy invites to the future.
And let's talk about religion. The plague shook Europe's faith in the church. When enough prayers don't work, people start asking questions. Big, dangerous, revolutionary questions. Hence, the Protestant Reformation. And eventually, religious freedom, modern politics, and, surprise, all the juicy drama of European history. Without the plague, no Luther, no split. Just one mega-powerful church calling all the shots, indefinitely. And politically, monarchs face zero pushback. No uprisings, no revolutions, no independence. Power stays locked up tighter than a royal wine cellar. Age of exploration? Maybe never happens. Columbus could have stayed home. The Americas?
maybe they don't get invaded by boatloads of confused Europeans with maps drawn by drunk cartographers. It's tempting to wish the Black Death never happened, because yeah, it was horrific. Millions dead, cities ruined, trauma everywhere. But history's got jokes, and sometimes the worst moments kick open doors we didn't know were locked. Without that devastation, we might have missed the spark that gave us science, art, innovation, revolutions, and eventually, Wi-Fi. So, would a plague-free Europe be better? Or just stuck in the mud? History's biggest tragedies sometimes carry the seeds of transformation. If you thought this timeline twist was wild, give us a like and hit subscribe. And tell us in the comments, what if should we dive into next?